Okay, this training is going to be really, 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 really good. So I am going to, it's going to be recorded. You can watch the replay. I'm at the office right now, new office, pretty cool. Got some nice views out there. Definitely have a pen and paper, and like straight up, you're going to want to re-listen to this a few times because it's meant to be ongoing. Like you can re-listen. I'm going to ask you a bunch of questions during it to help you. What up, Matthias?
Hey,
How you doing?
I'm doing good.
Nice, nice. You can hear me just fine, right? You hear the music too?
Yeah.
Nice, nice. All right, cool. Well, we'll start here in like probably 4 or 5 minutes. Dance it out. Dance it out till you're ready. Hi, Natalia. Good to see you. All right. Well, this is training that helped me make a lot more money in a lot less time. So that's going to be epic. I'm at this new office. It's legendary. It's like ready to have hundreds of people here. See, when the whole world is going towards online, you got to think ahead, go offline. Everything's in reverse. Hello, Sean. Hello, Latanya. Hello, West. Grab a pen and paper. We'll start in like a few minutes. You're watching the recording. Just fast forward. Hello, early birds. There are 6 parts of the training. We're going to do our best to get through it in 45 minutes. All right. Let's get a little bit more hype. A little bit more hype. End of the day.
Show me, baby.
If you don't have good music to work to throughout the day, like I know if you're in meetings, you can't listen to music, but if you're like planning your day, going out with your day, you gotta have some good music. Hello, Zaina. Hello, Sarah. With a motivational word, motive. On this live, starting in 1 minute. I'm posting the comments. Sarah Rez wants a motivational word. Here's my motivational word. Responsibility. Responsibility. The word
That's
many
the
people
best one.
motivates me. All right, what up, Colin? What up, JJ? Ola, hello. Rob, great to see you.
What's good, bro?
How you doing, JJ?
Bro, just came back from Vegas. Got a story, bro. Man. Bro.
JJ in Vegas.
Bro. Running on 30 minutes of sleep, bro.
Wow, dangerous.
Crazy.
Well, I'm glad you're all right. All right, y'all, let's get down to business. So welcome to the training. This, my friends, the promise of this training is that, sorry, I'm just muting a few people. So you get muted, no offense. I'm just gonna click mute all upon entry, and then we'll dive in. Mute all upon entry, boom, systems. Thank you, automation of Zoom. Okay, so promise of this training, y'all, is that you're gonna learn the process that I went through myself to make way more money and to be able to do it in way less time. This is not a magic bullet. It's not gonna happen by tomorrow, but what you can implement starting tonight, going into tomorrow and the next day and the next day and the next day, some things that we're gonna go on here. I got 6 different parts I wanna cover, and you can apply that to really, really improve your life, okay? Warning, you're gonna have to be willing to be held to a higher standard, okay? If you keep your same standards, you're screwed. If you keep your same standards, you're gonna keep getting the same thing. And I know everyone's on here so that they can have better goals, okay? So please drop in the comments, whether you're on Facebook or on Zoom. If you wanna be held to a higher standard, say the word higher standards, all right? Let's see that first, because then we can go in depth, because this ain't for the faint of heart, y'all, all right? So let's hear it. Higher standards. Let's go, baby. Let's go. All right. So, and then also, you don't have to put in the chat, but the first thing that we got to get to is clear outcome. You got to know where you're headed. Okay. So just put in the chat, how do you feel about your goal you're shooting towards, your money goal specifically? Okay. So like, I feel great about it. I feel nervous about it. I feel excited about it. Throw in the chat how you feel about your upcoming money goal you're going after, okay? Because then that's going to frame a lot of this conversation. Okay, so let's kick it off with a story. Good old story time. It'll be a brief story because, as you remember from 2 weeks ago when we did the other training, almost ran out of time. Okay, so I remember back in 2015, 2016, I was sitting in Newark, New Jersey, and I was sitting there. Oh, just 1 second. Sorry, y'all, I'm at a new office, and the lady just she's letting me stay late, but she's like, make sure you turn out those lights. Okay, so I'll remember to turn out the lights. Remind me at the end, drop in the chat, turn the lights off, all right? Let's go. So rewind, right, to a younger version of me, where I was a confused, anxious, not effective human being. 2015, 2016 time, okay? And I was living out in Newark, New Jersey. Shout out Newark, New Jersey. All my New Jersey people, where are you at, right? We love New Jersey. They call it Dirty Jersey for a reason, but it's also the Garden State. It's beautiful. But if you're on the Turnpike, it ain't the best spot, okay? But I like New Jersey. I like the East Coast. It's like fast-paced energy, okay? So I'm living out there, and I had this pretty cool opportunity. I was working with a guy who had just sold his company for $50 million. And I got a spot on his team. I became his right-hand man. Because I was really good at a couple things. I was good at being organized. I was good at project management. I was not very good at making money. I was not very good at negotiation and all the stuff we're going to get into here. Okay. Sometimes I talk fast. It sounds like I'm at 1.5 speed. Like if you've ever been on YouTube and you click 1.5 speed, that's like me naturally. So you're just going to have to deal with it. Don't do 1.5 speed. When you're listening to this, you'll miss the good stuff. Okay. So I'm getting this new position, right? And I was just so excited to be on the team. I just accepted the paycheck. And it was $2,000. I accepted the paycheck before even really negotiating. I was like, shit, I want to be on this team. And that was before I actually moved to Newark or knew what the cost of living would be, knew how much my groceries would be, all that stuff. So I'm in this predicament where I find myself, okay, who's ever had a similar predicament where you're getting some secure money, you're getting that secure paycheck, but it's not enough. Okay, just throw in the chat, Facebook or Zoom. You ever been in that situation? Apply for a SNAP. Yeah, I'm not going to apply for SNAP. Right? For me, I was like, I'm going to figure this out. Okay, like I'm going to figure this out. But I was in this position where literally I was like, I need at least $200 more a month, where that way I can like think straight. And I was literally having to negotiate for $200 more. And in that moment, I was like, I can never, ever let this happen again. This is insane. Like, how did I let myself get to this point? I even graduated from university. I got my degree. I graduated cum laude, or whatever the hell the Latin word is, okay? However you say that. And I'm like under this false impression that I'm somehow smart because I graduated with a degree in psychology and spent a lot of money to get that degree. And now I'm worried, fretting over $200. Anyone else here graduate or think, oh, if just because I'm smart, just because I learned some stuff, automatically that's going to make my income go up? Has anyone ever fallen to that trap before? Yeah, throw it in the chat, okay? Because it hurts. It hurts. But that's why we're here, to make sure you never have to feel that pain again, okay? Tonight, this training is going to give you like a coat of armor where you never have to feel that pain again, okay? But you got to do some inner work because the armor can't protect you from the inner pain, okay? Okay? Facts. So I'm sitting there all nervous one day going into the office. I'm like, I gotta talk to Gerard. Oh my God, I'm so scared. What if he says no? What do I do? $200 more. Right? And that led me to a big breakthrough. See, sometimes in your life, things get really unfortunate and you feel this pressure and you get sick and tired of being sick and tired. And you're like, this sucks. I do not want this to happen anymore. And one of two things happens, okay? Has anyone here ever been sick and tired of being sick and tired recently? Throw it in the chat, right? Drop it in the chat if you're like sick and tired of feeling sick and tired. Because I want to know, how does that feel, right? And use different words than sick and tired, right? Get creative with it. Does it feel bad? Does it feel gross? Does it feel disgusting? Because I want you to amplify that feeling. Because here's what happens. You get sick and tired of feeling sick and tired. And then you either use that as motivation to say, I'm going to now put myself in a new situation, new reality. I'm going to make new decisions. And then you can change. Or guess what happens? Time loop. And you end up in the same damn spot. 1 month later, 2 months later, 6 months later, 1 year later, 2 years later, 5 years later, you're in the same spot, same income. Time loop. Okay, my friends, this group is not for the time loopers. So if you're interested in time looping, staying in the same spot, get out. I'm just kidding. You need to hear this more than anyone. Just stay in, okay? But let your ego get out, okay? Because your ego wants to keep you stuck. We're here to transcend that, okay? So what happened to me? I was in that situation where I'm like, this sucks. I can't even believe I negotiated myself into a deal where I can't even afford to shop at a new Whole Foods opened in Newark. This is like a new era for the city. Whole Foods just opened, right? I know, Jude, you know what I'm talking about. Remember when Whole Foods opened in Newark, right? And I'm like, great, Whole Foods. Then I'm like, wait, I can't afford Whole Foods. I have to go to whatever ShopRite or whatever the store is called. And I'm like, this is so bad. I never want to be in this situation again, okay? And guess what happened then? Right after that time, one of my friends hit me up. He goes, hey man, there's this conference out in Vegas. We should go to it. And right around this time too, see, I remembered the pain I felt. And I used that pain to my advantage. And I made the negotiation happen. I got an extra $200 a month. And I worked out a way where I was able to make commissions for closing speaking engagements for the guy. Okay. So I was like, great. Now I have this opportunity. But I was like, I never want to let that happen again. So I had this opportunity to go to an event out in Vegas. I went to that event and that, no pain, no gain, not fully true. Someone in the chat said no pain, no gain. It's not actually true. You don't have to have pain to grow. That's actually a sabotage program put onto humanity by the elite and by all of us not being educated. Because if you're educated, you can get a gain. Like if you know how to read a book on making money, and then you read the book and you make money, and then you make more money, you didn't have to have any pain. So, but sometimes pain is the motivator that you need, and it wakes you up. So I got to this event in Vegas, and I'll continue that story later. But at that event, I met some of the most important people I ever met that introduced me to some new things, totally changed my life. Okay. So I'm sharing with you now. I want to get to 6 different parts of what's going to help you now go from where you're at, feeling sick and tired of feeling sick and tired. Your income isn't where you want it to be. Your relationships, money, business, all that isn't what you want it to be. And what I did to get myself to literally that $200, I've had multiple days this week where I've had over $2,000 come in. So that's 10x of that in a day, instead of taking me a whole month to negotiate and wait for the paycheck. Okay. So who here wants to take their income just by the horns, right? Ride it like a bull into freaking, the promised land. And you're like, I'm set, right? Okay, let's do it, baby. Let's do it. So first, I already alluded to this, but please write this down for yourself. Of course, you got to get clear on your goal and why you want the goal. Okay, this training is designed for you to listen to it again in the future because there's going to be a lot. But please, for the love of yourself and everything that's good in the world, you got to know your goal. And then, like, shout out Jude, you know all about this. Shout out the other people that I work with who got your goal on a post-it note or somewhere, so it's like on the wallpaper on your phone, or it's in behind your phone, right? Or it's on your laptop. And of course, if you have TechnoTutor, put your goal through TT, then it's actually going to come in. But you got to be clear on the goal. Okay, that's step 1, and what it is and why. Okay, so that's what first helped me. Second part is your standards. What standard was I holding for myself by just accepting a job, not even knowing that I needed an extra $200 and then having to worry about it? Not a good standard. So for yourself, my friends, what standards are you accepting right now? Okay, just give yourself 20 seconds and just rate yourself. Okay, if it was like 10 out of 10 standards, which is like the best, right? I accept the best, I'm doing the best, I wake up at the best time, my life is the best it can be, that'd be a 10. And 1 is like, your life sucks. What standards are you holding for yourself right now? Okay, you don't have to put it in the chat. Don't worry about it. Just for yourself, take your 20 seconds and write out what standards, and no 7s. 7s are a cop out. If you did 7, slap yourself on the wrist. You're either a 6 or you're an 8. It's better to be brutally honest with yourself. That was one thing a mentor taught me back in the day. He said, no 7s when you're rating yourself 1 to 10. You're either 6 or you're an 8. Okay, so yeah, you're 6.5. Yeah, sure, 6.5 makes the cut. So your standards, like, what do you take a stand for? What are you standing for in your life? What are you allowing? What are the types of people around you? So you got your standards for yourself, and then you got the standards that other people hold you to. And this is really, really, really important, because if you have the standards, and just 1 sec. So, okay, never mind. I thought the desk lady was reprimanding me for something. I tend to come into an office space and we're just way too loud. We have way too many people. They're like, there's too many people, COVID, whatever excuses. So, we've been through like 5 offices, but I think we found the dream office. Anyway, okay. So the standards. First number, write down for yourself. You're going to write 2 numbers. First number, write down what standards are you holding for yourself, 1 to 10. 10 would be like you're living the best standards. 1 is your standards suck. Write that down. And then second one is the people you spend the time with. The people that you spend time with. What standards are you holding yourselves to? Are you with a group of people that's like 10 out of 10? So I can honestly say in my life, for the first time ever, I found the people that are the 10s. It's the people in this group that are hardcore into this. Self-perfection, baby, all the way. Those are 10s. Like deep down, honestly, it's a 10. It doesn't mean every day I'm showing up as a 10. Sometimes I fall short, but it's a 10. If you're not active in this community, adding everyone here as friends, talking to everyone, coming to the event in San Diego, like going to a local clubhouse, running a local clubhouse, you're missing out, because having those 10s totally changes your life, right? Shout out my wife, Jessica, right? She helps hold me to a 10 as well. So those are your standards. So in my journey, right? Remember I said I went to Vegas for that event? At that event, I met this guy who ended up showing me something called Your Wish is Your Command. But it took me like 3 days of asking him and pestering him. I was like, hey, I want to be like you. I want to like make millions of dollars and stuff. I was like, how do I do it? And he just kind of like laughed and ignored me. I'm like, no, like I want that. I want that. How do I learn that? And finally, one day he goes, hey, okay, I'll send you an audio. You got to listen to it 20 times, then you can call me and we'll talk. I'm like thinking it's going to be a little TED talk. No, it's a full 14-hour weekend seminar by Kevin Trudeau. And I'm like, Jesus, this guy must be joking. But then I listened to it. I was like, oh, he's seen what standards I have for my life. He's seen how teachable I am. Got it. Okay. And then I started working with him. And it was really cool. He started to expose a lot to me. So that was one of the big shifts I had was I started to realize how I could have higher standards for myself. Okay. Next, part 3. All right. This one, my friends, this one's a little painful. See, a lot of other groups. Oh, Lou Jew, that's you. That's so funny. That's so that's beside the point. Gotta stay focused. Okay. A lot of other self-development groups just want to focus on the positive. Have you ever noticed that? You ever go into self-help groups or something? Like I went to this local meetup one time, and and it was like it's called Miracle Morning, because there's this book called Miracle Morning, and people are on this positive stuff. And I went to this meetup, and it was so depressing. We were at this public library, and everyone there just seemed dead on the inside. People were wearing masks. It was just so sad. And we're at this meetup, and I'm like, and they're all talking about being very positive. Like, yeah, you just gotta, just write out your goals and all that stuff and just focus on how it's going to work out. But deep down, you could tell they were really negative people. And so self-perfected, we're the opposite. We willingly go into the negative because it makes you very strong. It doesn't mean we dwell on the negative, but it means we're willing to face the negative and change it. Because if you can face the deepest, darkest, scariest stuff and come out victorious, what could stop you? Okay. So my friends, this is the thing that I'm going to preface is it might feel a little negative, but I promise you will help you make a lot more money, okay? It's called the dumb tax, okay? The dumb tax. Don't get stuck with the dumb tax, okay? Here's a fascinating idea, one that I hope you really take with you. I'm not even going to say I'm not even going to use the word hope. Sorry, the word hope is like a 4-letter word around here. I'm going to trust that you're going to take this with you. Guess what your most expensive mistake is right now? It's the fact that you don't know how to make $1 million today. Think how much that's costing you. You don't know how to make $1 million today. You don't have a system that's making you $1 million. Isn't that a fascinating idea? Right? That's the most expensive mistake you're making. And so here's the dumb tax, okay? Is when you're not dealing with reality, risks still exist. Here's a little thing I wrote down. Risks, I'll read this twice. Risks don't cease to exist because you ignore them, and neither do facts. Okay, I'll say it one more time. Risks don't cease to exist because you ignore them, and neither do facts. So let's say you're like not paying your taxes, right? Like, yeah, it's a risk, but I'm lucky. Law of attraction is going to help me. At some point, the IRS could come calling you or knocking on your door. So just because you ignore it doesn't mean it's not real. Same thing with facts. Now, I know facts aren't always what we think they are. A lot of people thought it was a fact that we just had the deadliest, pandemic ever. And then you look at it and you're like, hey, that wasn't really a fact. But nonetheless, there are certain facts, like in order to build a business, you must make sales. That is a fact. Some people resist sales. Some people are scared of sales. Nonetheless, it's a fact. You can't ignore it. If you aren't making sales in your business, you just have a hobby. You're not actually a business owner. Okay. So here's the dumb tax. I'll share it through a little, I'll continue with the story. Okay. So back to me, young me, that was very dumb. Okay. Was paying a lot of dumb tax. And one of the things that was a dumb tax for me was I didn't know how to negotiate, and I didn't know how to think through things. So I was just very impulsive. I was like, oh, great opportunity. Let me jump on it. Anyone ever had a great opportunity that they jumped on that later they regretted because it didn't pay out well? Yeah, dumb tax. Okay. Everyone, put in the chat if you're committed to say no more dumb tax. Okay. Just put something clever in the chat about that. All right. Let's hear it. Let's hear it from everybody. We got 29 people here live. This is exciting, and plenty more on Facebook. Okay. So here's the other part. I wrote this one down because it's so good. I didn't want to forget this. Okay. On the dumb tax, the last part about it is what's in your mind. It doesn't just go away because you ignore it. It doesn't just go away because you suppress it. Those thoughts, the deep dark ones, the thoughts of self-doubt, the starts of the thoughts of self-worth and not having enough self-worth or whatever, those don't just go away. They're in there. It's like if you had a house with a bunch of boxes in the basement with a bunch of old stuff that you don't want to deal with, just because you ignore the basement or don't go down the stairs doesn't mean that the stuff isn't still in the basement. But here's what's different about you. You have a mind. It's connected to your body, which is connected to the world. Okay? Everything's interconnected. So when you're walking around with a bunch of silly ideas or a bunch of self-limiting beliefs, it's actually rippling out into the world. Has anyone ever had the experience where you're trying to go talk to someone because you want to share your idea with them, but it's like you repel people? And it's like no matter what you say or what you do, it's like certain people will just like be pushed away from you. There's something in there, okay? So consider this, the real dumb tax is that you have yet to reprogram yourself on a physical level, not just in your mind, on a physical level, on your unconscious level. And that right now is costing you millions and millions of dollars, okay? So something to consider, okay? Fourth, we're making great time, y'all. Okay, fourth part. This one's also kind of intense, okay? But hey, you aren't here because you wanted the simple, easy stuff. You're here because you want the real good stuff, right? Okay, so yeah, no more dumb tax. Agreed. Let's go, baby. No more dumb tax. That means we have to get very, very educated, and we have to be around people who are highly educated, who have high standards. We can hold them with high standards. They can hold us to the high standards. That's the power of the group. That's when we're like next level, right? Next level team, right? Who here down to be on the best team in the world, right? Throw in the chat. You down to be on the best team in the world, because that's what self-perfected really is. Best team in the world. Okay, we're all rooting for each other.
Hey, Mitch, I'm sorry to interrupt you. What was the last bullet point that you made? I just hopped on here. It was something about the facts.
Okay. Risks don't cease to exist because you ignore them, and neither do facts.
And neither do facts. Okay, appreciate it. Thanks, man.
Yeah. There's like certain facts about reality. And again, a lot of them aren't what you think they are. So a lot of programming, a lot of shenanigans going on, right? But there are certain facts of life, such as you are programmable and you have unconscious programming from your childhood. And if you're not making a lot of money right now, it's because of that programming. That is a fact. Whether you like it or not, whether you deal with it or not, it doesn't change the fact that it's a fact. Okay, so I'm just being blunt. Okay, part 4. Okay, big facts. Yeah, Shelby, big facts. The biggest facts and the best facts. That's what we got. We're the biggest and best group in humanity. Okay, self-perfected all the way. So part 4. So we have problems, and then we have obstacles. Okay, so everyone, take a moment. Write down for yourself on your notebook, and you can throw them in the chat, of what are the problems you see right now to why you haven't 10x your income. It's like, or whatever your goal is, the goal you wrote right away. So let's say you want to be making 10K a month or 20K a month. You'll have a problem that you think is there, such as, I don't know how. I don't know who to talk to. I don't have a webinar. I don't have a website. That's what you think is the problem, okay? But here's the nuance. It's not that's not the real problem. The real thing is an obstacle, something standing in the way. So, for example, right? Let's just use a hypothetical example. Someone thinks that their problem is, I don't have enough money. I think that's a problem. I don't know how to sell people. That's probably not their problem. It's a symptom. The obstacle is the root. What is the real root problem? And for many of you, I'll just spoiler alert. Here's the real obstacle. You haven't made the decision that you actually give a fuck about your life and that you're going to figure it out. That's the real obstacle, is you haven't made the decision. Okay, that may have gone over your head, but you got to make that commitment and that agreement with yourself to say, I'm going to figure this out once and for all, and I'm going to do this not just for myself, I'm going to do this for humanity. Because you have a responsibility. Like if you have a business that's actually serving other people, those of you who have the education company that we know and love, you know this. You have a responsibility to get very, very, very good at sharing because people need it, okay? So sometimes the real obstacle is not what you think. It actually has to do with an internal thing where you haven't made a certain decision. And then it might also be, yeah, you suck at talking to people. You're not riveting. Okay, great. So that's the kind of stuff now that you want to actually work on. Here's a funny example. I kind of laugh at this and I kind of cry a little bit too because it hits close to home. Like imagine your goal was to like let's say you're in LA and your goal is to get to San Diego, right? Because you want to come to the self-perfecting event, okay? And you're like, I'm gonna run there, okay? And you got water, you're gonna get there. And you start out, and then you're going north towards San Francisco. But you're so damn enthusiastic, you're hype, you're showing up every day, you're running, your form is great, you're really excited, you're eating your snacks, you're like on the ball, okay? But you're sprinting towards San Francisco. And for those of you who don't know geography, it's the complete opposite way from San Diego, okay? Can anyone relate to having this happen in your life? You have a goal, you're very enthusiastic, you're hype about it, you even bought the training, you're even eating organic food, you're like really going all out, but you're going out the wrong way. Okay, that, my friends, that's what we're going to prevent, okay? And we're going to go the right way, really fast, really efficiently, and you can eat organic food along the way, okay? It'll be awesome. So for me, I'll just share what my obstacle was that helped me when I was in that phase where, again, I was struggling to make the extra $200. Organic crickets? No, if you eat organic crickets, that's not allowed, okay? I'm just kidding. You can have the crickets. I think we tried them. Actually, shout out, in Texas, we ate a cricket. That was messed up. Cameron gave me one. I was like, damn, this is a glimpse of 2030 if we don't step up and change the system. I think even Avery, he tried to get Avery to have one. Anyway, okay, so. For me, my obstacle, it was like, I thought my problem was I didn't have the $200, right? Pretty obvious problem. No, it sucked. You're asking me how did it taste in the chat? The cricket, it was not good. Yeah, it's crispy. Yeah, crispy doesn't mean good. Okay. So the problem I thought I had was I don't know how to make the extra $200. My real obstacle I had was I was afraid of conflict. I was afraid of conflict and loss. I was afraid of bringing up to my employer saying, hey, I want extra $200. I was afraid of him going, no, man, can't do it. And then I was afraid of feeling bad. And I was afraid of losing the job. I was afraid he'd be like, you're actually fired. You're asking for too much. That was the real obstacle, was I had an internal problem, okay? And once I got rid of that, helped a lot. You see how if you didn't have fear of conflict and you didn't have fear of loss, you'd be really, really, really like unstoppable? Pretty cool, right? So just for a moment, quick, write down, what are the real obstacles you're facing? This might be the most valuable part of this whole training. Write down, do your best to get to the real obstacles you're facing. Maybe you haven't made a decision. Maybe you have a fear of something. Maybe you're programmed to have shitty self-worth. Okay, give yourself 10 seconds. Come on, do it. You can do it. It's like you're at the gym, you're like curling the heavy weight, you're like, it burns. Burn is good. If you're driving, say it to yourself out loud. Okay. Okay. So this is gonna get gonna get kind of intense. Okay, I got some questions for you now. Okay. So these are questions where if I had this in the past, it would have helped me so much. So I'm just going to share these questions with you. And again, this training is recorded. So that way you can come back to this. I can post these questions in the group too. So don't worry about writing these down, but just see what it stimulates. Okay. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 questions. Okay. Gonna be intense. 15 minutes left. All right, take a deep breath, shake it out. Let's go, baby. All right. See, this ain't the average Wednesday night boring training. This is intense, okay? First, where am I compromising by looking for the easy way out? Question, where am I compromising by looking for the easy way out? Just write down 1 or 2 bullet points. Doesn't have to be the right answer, just get the bullet points down. Okay, one more time. Where am I compromising by looking for the easy way out? All right. Hello, anyone who just joined us. Roberto, Hunter, good to see you guys here. We're going deep on some questions. Just dive right in. You're in the deep end. Okay, second question. Oh, sounds good. What shortcuts am I attempting to make, but they're not really a shortcut? It's actually just being lazy. Okay, so what shortcuts am I attempting to make that are not really shortcuts? It's just me being lazy. Yeah, shed that tear. Come on. I know it hurts, but the pain is good. All right. I'll ask it one more time. What shortcuts am I attempting to make, but they're not really a shortcut? Actually, just me being lazy. Okay, just get down to bullet points. Next, third question. What skills do I need to master to attain the success I want? Now, remember the obstacles you wrote down. You might think your skill is, I need to build really good sales funnels. Probably not the skill you need. You should probably just hire that. So like, think bigger picture, okay? So what skills do I need to master to attain the success I want? Yeah, all right, get some bullet points down. And if some of your skills did not include the word sales or marketing or leadership, I would write down those skills. Those are three like holy grail skills. Sales, marketing, leadership. Any good business has all three. Okay. Team building, yeah. I'd call that leadership, but if you call it team building, whatever works for you and your vocabulary set and how you're seeing things, just get it down, okay? Next question. Doing great, y'all. Who can help hold me accountable? And it might be yourself, but also could be people in this group. That's what this group is for. Part of it. Okay, who can help hold me accountable? It might be Siri on your iPhone. I'll say a pro tip right after this, but who can help hold me accountable? Okay. If you're married and your spouse did not make the list, I would suggest ask yourself, why not? If you have a team and a business and you did not write down your business partners or the people that you meet with consistently, I would ask yourself, why did they not make the cut? It should be like automatic, okay? Here's the pro tip, halfway through pro tip, okay? One thing that I do that's super, super helpful is I use Siri on my phone. If you have Android, maybe you're out of luck. I don't know. Someone with Android can tell you. But what I will do is I have my time. It's at 8:20 a.m. because at 8:30, I have a meeting with my team. But I know for 10 minutes beforehand, I'm sitting on my computer. I'm in go mode. And so every night or throughout the day, if I have something I want to remind myself of, Bixby, that's what it's called, really? Out of all the names they could give their voice assistant, they called it Bixby. Wow. Okay. Anyway. And what I will do is if I have a good idea, like for example, I was listening to this training on branding last night, but I was driving. I'm not going to text when I drive, but I was like, I got to talk to Drake about this. So I said, I hold down the phone, I go, Siri, remind me tomorrow at 8:20 a.m. to text Drake about the ideas about branding and the videos. And I'll remember exactly what I'm going to say. But now every day at 8:20, I have like 4 reminders pop up. And it's so helpful. So in that moment, you don't have to lose the thought, okay? So everyone see how that could be really, really helpful? Because if you don't have a system for capturing your good ideas, how much is that costing you? You might have that $1 million idea in the shower, but you're like, my hands are wet, I can't type. Just hold down the button, just go, Siri, remind me at 8:20 a.m. You know, or whatever your time is, okay? I like to do it in the morning because I'm a morning person. Okay, cool. Here's the pro tip of the day. Okay, next. 2 more questions, y'all. We can do this. 10 minutes remaining. It's like 4th quarter, y'all. Hey, oh man, hang on. This is so worth it. I promise. Sorry I go all over the place, but it better be entertaining. If not, just tell me in private, okay? So my self-esteem doesn't get hurt. Just kidding. Okay, I was talking to someone today, And he's cool. He's pretty new to Self Perfected. He's got a son. He's like very interested in what we're doing. He said he's been following my stuff on social media for like a year. And he finally reached out. He's like, dude, I want to be in that group. He's coming to the event. He even sold his friend on coming to the event. Awesome. Shout out, you know who I'm talking about. He's probably watching the replay. And he asked me, he goes, okay, man, he's like, this is really crazy, this AI stuff that's coming out. He's like, if we're not careful, like, doesn't this turn into the Terminator? Like, what's going to prevent that from happening? Like actually, this is really, really crazy. Like Google and OpenAI are at a war right now of seeing who can create a better chat robot. When you're driving it for profit and doing things quick instead of doing it in the best way, that turns into some pretty crazy things, okay? So he asked me, he goes, dude, what do we do about this? I was like, hey, bro, consider this. It's not one person outside yourself that's going to come up with the answer. Definitely Google's not going to have the answer, or OpenAI, neither of them are going to have it. They might have some ideas, whatever. They're freaking publicly traded companies, so they care about profit. But I gave him this example. I said, hey, did you ever grow up playing sports? He's like, yeah, soccer and basketball. So I was like, okay, imagine we're playing basketball, but as humanity. We're in a basketball game, okay? And it's like the beginning of the fourth quarter right now, and we're down by like 10 points, okay? But everybody, it's your responsibility to get on the court and score some points. Do you have to get all 10 points? Yeah, get 100 points. But also, not every one of us is going to be able to score right away. But it's like us as humanity are on a team against our collective egos and shadow. And that's who we're playing against, and we're losing. But we're not losing by that much. And maybe this is what we need to actually get our asses into gear, okay? So just something to really consider. Like, we're doing this training for a reason. I'm not just doing this because I want to help you make an extra couple $1,000 a month. Sure, that's great. But like, I want you to step up and become a like future leader of the world and make a ton of money so we can like actually have influence with this AI stuff and politics and all that. Anyway, that's that. Okay. Last two questions. Reining it back in. Okay. Where do I need to pick up the level of intensity and how I'm playing this game? Hey, that's so fitting. It's like the basketball game. I didn't even intend that. Unconscious power. Let's go, baby. See, I'm unconsciously reading the notes I took earlier. Okay, here's the question again. Where do I need to pick up the level of intensity and how I'm playing this game? Good one. Again, I'll post these questions in the group after so you can see them. And last question. Where do I have time in the week to reflect and work on myself? Like this type of stuff. So where do I have time in my week to reflect and work on myself? If you don't take time in the morning or the afternoon or the evening to do some self-forgiveness writing, to really let yourself think, maybe go for a walk and just process stuff. Don't get distracted. Don't go watch the latest cat videos, like just you for you, okay? So there's that. And now, my friends, the last part, okay, is back to the higher standards. What's your next step for the higher standards? So for me, in that fateful day where I was anxious about asking for a $200 raise, and I'm like, this sucks. I don't not like my life. That was then the catalyst for then me making the decision to go to that event in Vegas, where then I met one of my first mentors who introduced me to a whole world of information, which then led me to the next event, which then led me to the people here. All of that came from me finally being so sick and tired of being sick and tired with my money situation that I was like, I need to change something badly. I'm going to just do it. And so for you, my friends, what does that higher standard look like? And what does it look like to implement that? Because I know many of you are sick and tired of being sick and tired in certain areas of your life. Maybe part of your life is freaking great, awesome. But maybe your relationships suck. Maybe your income's not what you want it to be or whatever. So what's the next step? What's the next step? Maybe it's reaching out to someone. Maybe it's putting the Friday calls in your calendar so you show up every Friday and you can hang out with us and actually get real support starting your weekend. When all your friends are going out drinking and clubbing, you can actually like have real accountability and real conversations with people, you know? Maybe it's making the decision to come to the event in San Diego. Like if you like this, can you imagine 3-4 days of this level of conversation, supporting each other, going deep on this? I mean, if you thought this was valuable, like got a lot more in store for the event. Maybe it's, you know, a decision you have to go like talk to this, you know, woman that you want to ask out on a date, or you have to really let go of some deep point within you, holding yourself back. Okay. So everyone, please, the last few minutes, throw in the comments, both here in Zoom or on Facebook. First, right, what does that next level of higher standards look like? Just give us one takeaway. Like, I got to call my mom, or I need to, you know, upgrade my wardrobe, or I got to do some self-forgiveness on this. Okay. So write out, what does that next level of your higher standards look like? Because then we can all support you. How cool is that? We're not here to judge you. We're here to, one, just really acknowledge you where you're at and then support you to the next level. Okay. Throw in that chat. Come on, y'all. Don't be shy. Don't be shy. Need to call about the Vegas trip. Okay. Awesome, JJ. We can chat tomorrow. Just text me. Ola, finish quick start. Yeah, if you have TechnoTutor and you don't know about the 30-day quick start, DM me. It's beast. It's really, really, really good. Okay. Come on, drop it in the chat, y'all. Face more rejection and confrontation. Nice, Shelby. And look internally. Okay, cool, cool. Master my schedule, Gaitan. Okay, nice. My suggestion is if it's kind of general, make sure at least in your private notes, it's specific. Because you could say master my schedule, but also it might be clearly, you know, pick 3 times of the day where I work on this thing specifically. So like the more specific you can be, usually the better. Call my warm market, says Isabel. Awesome, awesome. Don't procrastinate, just do it. Nice, Rob, as long as you're clear on what you're doing, heck yeah. Be accountable for my actions, Kevin. Hey, nice, nice. Just be clear on what that means exactly, Kevin. Okay, cool. So everyone, that's that. And now here's the last question. What was the most valuable part of this training? If you can throw it in the chat, that would really help me, because then I can make even better trainings for the group. Again, this is stuff that helped me a lot to change and grow. And it's stuff that I know as we all implement this. Like, imagine if this Self-Perfected event was at a Four Seasons hotel, where it's like $1,000 a night, and we all fly in our private jets. And like, we can all stay for a week in hotel suites because we all just have that much money to play with. That's where this group is headed. We're not there yet. If we were there already, we would have been born in the elite and we probably wouldn't actually care about changing anything. So let's all level up together, okay? It's definitely not at Four Seasons Hotel, but it is. Oh, okay, you're saying something else. Paradise Point. Okay. Did I get the reply from the email? I'll check that, Kevin. Okay, cool. Thank you, everyone, for posting. If you haven't posted in the chat, please, please share what was the most valuable part of this training, okay? And then, my friends, give yourself one more minute. We'll call it the minute to win it. And just look at your schedule for tomorrow. Just look at your notes, your to-do list, and you have a good grasp on tomorrow. Every single day. For those of you who have TechnoTutor, you'll appreciate this. For those of you who don't, I would suggest look at it. Is every single day I put through my TechnoTutor, I say, today is the best day yet. And I mean it. And so I would suggest, let's set yourself up. So tomorrow, February 9th, or whenever you're listening to the replay, is your best day yet. Because you can literally make every day your best day yet if you have the intention and you hold yourself to higher standards. May not mean you make millions of dollars tomorrow, but you do the activity necessary to get yourself there. Nice. Okay. Epic, y'all. Great. Great. Listen to your Wish Your Command 20 times. That you don't have to do that. You can listen to it again, but listen with discernment. I would listen to the podcast 20 times. Listen to the recent episode, Deepfake Chopra. That one is so good. I mean, they're all so good. And there's one other episode we did recently called Two Paths, Which Will You Choose? Really, really, really good. The Self-Perfected podcast, if you haven't listened to it, okay? So everyone, last shout out is come to the event. If you thought this was valuable, imagine 3 or 4 days of this. If you haven't shared the event with your friends, cool people that think like this, come like share with them. 22nd, hotel is booked up. All the tickets are gone. We're running out of days. We got 14 days left or something. Okay. So looking forward to seeing everyone there. We will do another training next Wednesday based off what y'all need. And yeah, I'm looking forward to it. But next up will be Friday, Self-Perfected Hangout. And in the meantime, go crush it, y'all. Okay. So thanks for hopping on. I will stop the recording now.